All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Me here talking real music in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. All right, happy Sunday. If your team is playing today, great. I just have a jersey. I don't really have a team, so I figured because it was Sunday, I would put on the jersey and look all like I was watching football today. I'm really not, but anyway, I've got this band for you to check out. T3 Nors. The album's called Naked Soul. Came out earlier this year. Three really fantastic singers. You got Kent Hilly from Perfect Plan. You got my buddy Robbie LeBlanc from Find Me, and he's got a new project coming out. And the great Toby Hitchcock from Pride of Lions, Jim Peterick's buddy. Anybody who's a friend of Jim Peterick, I mean, he's got to be super talented. Anyway, three T-Nors, not, or is it, did I get that right? No, T3 Nors. See, it's so easy to mess up. There it is. Also, don't forget about Modern Retro Radio, modernretrofm.com. They're playing all of this great new material, playing the new Rolling Stones, playing the new Eric Clapton. You won't hear this music on terrestrial radio because they really don't have the courage or the imagination to play new material. It's really pathetic. And speaking of pathetic, what a complete, perfect lead-in to this story from this radio station, KLAQ, one of those aforementioned terrestrial radio conglomerates, iHeart radio affiliates. And they put something on their website which caught the attention of a few of my Journey junkies and patrons on Patreon. By the way, you can join Patreon if you would like. I want to thank all the patrons for another great month in September, keeping this channel going during the revenue apocalypse. Anyway, this is the headline from this radio station in El Paso, Texas. They say here, why some people are saying Steve Perry will be back with Journey in 2024. Yeah, okay. All right, right. Now, the first thing they say is, I want to be 100% clear and upfront about this article. Okay, well, thank you for being clear and upfront. This is not an announcement that Steve Perry is going to be singing with Journey when the band plays the Las Cruces Pan Am Center next year on March 21st. No, this isn't an announcement because they haven't announced it. Their lineup is on their website, and it features Arnel Pineda as their singer. Anyway, here's what they say. There are a lot of rumors swirling around. Yes, mostly in chat rooms, mostly in the imaginations of people who want lots of clicks and lots of views. Here are the top reasons people are saying Perry and the band might be reuniting. Oh, boy. All right, let's go through the list. Number 4 is kind of a doozy, and I will get to number 4 on the list. Number 1 is, it is their 50th anniversary. I'm thinking it was this year. That was their 50th, but, you know, there's a little bit of a debate on whether Journey really got off the ground in 73 or they got off the ground in 74. I'm thinking they formed in 73 and got off the ground in 74. People are saying the same thing about the band Heart, that it's not really their 50th anniversary, and that might be next year. I think we're splitting hairs, and the idea that the 50-year anniversary would be a catalyst for Steve Perry to rejoin the band and perform with the band, I think is a bit of a stretch. Anyway, their logic is kind of stuff that I would say, except for the fact that I have a source, and I'll get to that soon. They say that's a major milestone, and let's be honest, there probably won't be a 75th anniversary tour. Never say never. Here's why. Artificial intelligence. You may see a Steve Perry hologram in 25 years for their 70. In fact, everybody may be a hologram at that point if they've all gone to the great Journey in the Sky right? At that point. So you never know. There could be a 75th anniversary of Journey, but physical human bodies probably won't be part of it. If they're going to finally pull this trigger, next year would be the year to do it. Who's going to be pulling the trigger? Steve Perry. Here's what Steve Perry is thinking. Wow, they're going out on tour again. Rubbing my hands together. This means that revenue stream kicks into gear again. That's what I'm thinking he's thinking, right? He's very comfortable and he doesn't need to be on tour. Perry just dropped a bunch of lawsuits against the band. Now, what is a bunch? What would you consider a bunch? Would you consider a bunch to be like, you get the bananas at the store and there's a bunch of bananas and there might be like 5 or 6 bananas in a bunch? That sounds like a bunch. Okay, this is what they're describing here. Last year, in September of 2022, Steve Perry filed a lawsuit against his former bandmates over 20 Journey songs that Perry was claiming as registered trademarks. It was quietly reported that Perry had dropped that lawsuit, that one lawsuit. Now, I don't think you needed to litigate all 20 of the trademarks. I think it was all put into one lawsuit, and that lawsuit was quietly dropped, okay? And my speculation on this, since these guys are doing lots of speculation, is that Perry just will get the money on the back end rather than the front end. He's preventing himself probably from earning more revenue, because my guess is he's written in to the revenue stream. If these trademarks go forward, then that means Steve Perry will likely make more money on the back end than trying to prevent them from doing it at all. They go on to say maybe it doesn't mean anything, but plenty of fans are taking it as a sign that a reunion is in the works. No, I just explained why Perry most likely dropped the lawsuit. I'm thinking he doesn't want to be part of the circus either, because there's stuff going on between Jonathan Cain and Neil Schon, and I'm thinking Perry does not want to get in the midst of that and tarnish his own brand by being part of these never-ending lawsuits. And by the way, a bunch is not one. All right, just point number 2. Perry just dropped a bunch. No, he didn't drop. He dropped one. He may have more coming. We don't know. Neil Schon says he is down for a reunion. First of all, Neil Schon has been saying this for since 1999, probably. I don't know. More recently, probably right after the Hall of Fame, he wanted to sit down with Steve Perry and have a cup of coffee. I know for a fact that Steve Perry is not interested in having the coffee. And number 2, recently, Neil Schon said he was tired of trying to get Perry's attention and was more or less moving on. He did tell Entertainment Tonight in July, apparently of this year, that he was open to the idea of reuniting with Perry. Sean said that he and Perry were talking and getting to know each other again. Now, I'm pretty sure that was a couple of years ago. And to the extent to what I'm believing, I'm pretty sure it was all small talk stuff and it wasn't music talk. And I'm pretty sure they're not talking right now. So that whole thing kind of came and went, and nothing really materialized from it. Now, reason number 4 is the one where I kind of, my BS meter is going off on reason number 4, and I'll explain once I get through it. He says here, somebody in the loop told me as much. I can't name any names here. I promised I wouldn't. By the way, I do that all the time, but I don't tell people I can't tell people. Typically, I tell some of my patrons I'm not supposed to talk about X, Y, and Z if they ask me. But I don't go on here and say, somebody in the loop told me, but I can't talk about that. Now, I may have done that in a video or two, but this is a way of just, covering yourself. because you can pretend that you know somebody in the know and they're not telling you anything, right? But you can make it sound all dramatic in this article. Anyway, they say somebody in the know intimated to me that a Perry Journey reunion was being talked about. And who was talking about it? Who? I mean, everybody is talking about it. Wouldn't it be a great idea if Perry and Journey had a reunion? I'm talking about it right now. So am I the guy who is helping this radio station promote mis and disinformation? I just had to say those two words because, you know, I still get that all the time, that I am promoting mis and disinformation. This person here is kind of doing that. They go on and they write, this is still, and they put still in bold capital letters, just a rumor at this point, but my source told me they've been talking back and forth about how they might make this happen. Again, this is not an announcement or even a prediction, but as the old song says, don't stop believing. Okay. Now, who is saying this stuff? Now, I go down to the bottom here. It says categories, Buzz Adams Morning Show, featured Carousel, Local, El Paso, New Mexico. So the Buzz Adams Morning Show is putting this information out there, and it doesn't appear to be true. Now, just like this person says they have a source, I have a source, and I just contacted that source, and they basically said, nope, no way, it's not going to happen. That's what they told me. Nope, no way, it's not going to happen. So again, my source against this person's source. A few days ago, I gloated in a video because I thought I deserved to gloat a little bit, that I was right about Journey not breaking up. I told folks, hang on, I don't think this is over. I know John and Neil aren't getting along, but my theory is all of the bickering, all of the craziness, the lawsuits, the issues with certain band members and their wives, that all just perpetuates things and gets people to talk about Journey again. And look, Steve Perry hopefully will put out some solo material. Typically, Perry likes to kind of put things out there when Journey is in the news because that helps him do what he's trying to do. And certainly, again, it stokes interest in both things. People start talking about Perry, and then people start saying, oh, Journey is out there. Wouldn't it be cool if Journey and Perry were back together again? Well, anybody can say that, and that's not a story saying, wouldn't it be cool? I could do video after video, and people would agree with me, but it's not like I'm, providing any new inside information. All I'm doing is saying the obvious. It would be cool if Perry and Journey got back together again. But my source is telling me, nope, no way, not going to happen. So I'm sorry to throw cold water on all the chat room stuff, but I've been right on a few things. I mean, nobody ever gives me any credit for it. In fact, all I ever hear about is how I'm being destroyed in a chat room because I don't like some old geezer singer who's, got people with blue hair in the front row in lawn chairs watching his show. I just if you're doing that and that's the spirit of rock and roll, then you know what? I'm just not down for it. I'm just not down for it. As far as a Journey reunion with Perry, the 50th anniversary, I think that's kind of come and went, but the true rock historians can probably put a finite date on the beginning of Journey and tell you if that 50-year timeline is correct. They had Greg Raleigh. This is another reason. If you remember, Greg Raleigh showed up in Austin for a show because of the 50th anniversary. That was a one-off thing. A lot of people were doing some heavy-duty speculation. Maybe Steve Perry is next. And I thought, hey, if they're going to do it, right, it would be one show, probably out in California somewhere, and Perry probably would just show up and wave to people. He wouldn't actually be on stage performing. He didn't perform at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That would have been the perfect place for Perry to perform. He basically said, no, I'm not going to perform. He didn't feel comfortable performing because Arnell, at that point, had been the lead singer for quite some time. And I'm sure he didn't feel comfortable kind of stepping into that role again. And then there's this other reason. And I was talking with Jeff Scott Soto, who used to sing in Journey. And his theory is that, look, Perry wants to be remembered as the guy who sounded amazing back in the 80s and the 70s. He doesn't want people to hear what he sounds like now in Journey. He's okay with presenting music for a different audience, a solo Perry type format where he sounds a lot different. He's heading in that Tony Bennett direction. Seriously, he is. I mean, the music that he put out for Christmas is very much in that jazzy lounge category. And him going back to sing like Stone in Love and, I don't know, Dead or Alive or something like that. I can't picture that. I think, the time for that has come and gone. And fans that are still very nostalgic, it would be great if he just showed up and thanked the fans at some point. I think that would be amazing. And to have him, maybe take a picture with Neil and even John, because really that's the core, right? Those three guys. I think that would be great and it would be appropriate. But as far as him reuniting and performing with the band, I think this article is way off base, and it's clickbait. It's quality clickbait. I'm enjoying it. That reason number 4, because everybody is saying it, and my source says they're talking back and forth. I don't think that's true based on who I just spoke with and their very definitive answer. Now, if they're sworn to secrecy and they're leading me in a different direction, then I can attribute that to the fact that they don't want anybody to know about anything. That would be the only caveat here, that this is going to be the biggest surprise in the world and we want to catch everyone off guard. I just don't see this happening. I'd like it to happen. I'm not saying I don't want it to happen, but this is heavy duty speculation by this radio station in Texas, which I don't know. Maybe they just want more people reading their stuff. I understand, and hence this is what I do. I try to interest people with topics that they'll watch and click on and want to share with other people. You should share this with other people if you have a chance. T3 Nor's Naked Soul is the name of that album. Fantastic. And my buddies, my friends over at modernretrofm.com, great radio station playing music that these terrestrial iHeart conglomerates, they'll never play that stuff. They'll never play new music from John Mellencamp or the Rolling Stones or Eric Clapton or any of these bands that are still putting out great new material, bands that you know and love but aren't being played on the radio. That's why you need to tune in to modernretrofm.com. All right, folks, I'm done with this video. Hope you have a great Sunday. See you at halftime. No, just kidding. No, I'm not going to even be there at halftime. I'm going somewhere else. But in the meantime, have a great day.